Good morning. Welcome to Sunday, July 15th. Feeling a lot better today. It's very, by the end of yesterday I was just out of it. But today I got up, I've been uploading some of the gaming videos to YouTube, and I got to the point where I need to start uploading stuff for the current D&D campaign I'm running, Underland. So I'm having to, work on imagery and different layers. So I'm basically just getting together the cover image for that, selecting, I did photos, a group of photos, and just selecting for each of us who appears and what, basically, because I can't get one picture where all five of us are making a decent face and looking in the general direction of the camera. So I cut it together from like 3 to 5 different pictures. Yeah, so I'm working on that, and I'm quite pleased that yesterday me made some cookie brownies, even though I just didn't feel like eating them very much yesterday. I just tried them to make sure they were good, but wasn't into it. Well, I'm glad I have it today because I'm feeling better, and so yeah, just getting some general work done this morning. It's good. I finished the cover image, and I have 4 videos uploading for the gaming channel. It is 2 minutes, just change over, 1 minute until I need to be at church. But generally I always just try and make sure I have stuff working on that computer before I leave if able. So yeah, I kind of knew I was going to be a little bit late, but I got stuff uploading right now, and that's good. So yeah, I'm going to take allergy medicine and head out the door, because I got to get to church. And, it's all nice and sunny when I, left my house like 3 minutes ago. And I'm just, driving to church and run into a wall of water. And it is a sudden downpour. Alright then. Guess it's a storming in this area. Weather is weird. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory. Sing that, night and day.
Something that God agrees with, the presence of Himself comes amongst us, and we call it the anointing, we call it the presence of God, whatever you want to call it. It's just God saying, I agree. And I just want to say this, God is in this place because He agrees with what's happening here. I believe it's the delight to His heart what's happening in this house. This is a place of life. Jesus came that we may have life and have it to the full. I think we should be the happiest people on earth. You are worthy of it all. From you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve glory. We exalt you, Jesus. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy. territory, the enemy ups his game against you. And I just want to put some weapons and tools in your hands today, so you're like, oh, that's this. I'm ready. Because remember, we win. We know the end of the book, right? Yes. So this is exciting. So this isn't a fearful thing, but Peter says this, and we'll read it in a minute. Think it not strange when you face the fiery darts of the enemy. Duh, of course, when we start taking ground, when we start taking territory, we shouldn't think it's strange that the enemy wants to resist us. But we can't back off. We need to resist the enemy, not assist the enemy.
So we just got out of church, headed home. Nino, Mike's son, is in town, so it sounds like we're gonna go out to eat. But we had a pastor from one of the sister churches visiting. It's a good message, and a good message, you know, speaking on a few different areas, but to me, speaking almost on like, the enemy putting you up against a storm. Which, you know, I've of course heard that, but he almost defined it. He defined it like using words of, you know, like when you're looking at a map in a mall, it tells you you are here, because if you do not know where you are, the rest of the map doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if you knew the path that you had to get to originally, you know, and where you're going. If you don't know where you are, the rest of it really isn't going to make a lot of sense. And just sort of speaking unto that, which is really a spot where I feel that I am, and I got prayer for, just, you know, because, you know, I definitely have things where I felt, you know, God's telling me, here is where you're going, and here is where I'm going to take you, but as of lately, I've just sort of been, well, okay, but where am I in this? Did I get lost along the way? Have I made a wrong turn? And just sort of seeking that guidance, and so I got prayer for that. But yeah, it's very, very cool, and God meets you there. But like I said, now we're going to hang out with family and go out to eat, so that'll be fun too. Going to Gingham's. We got Ethan here, alone, playing with his phone by himself, while the rest of the family is all just hanging out together. It's a spot perfectly sized for Ethan. He could sit with the rest of the family, but instead he chooses to sit over here. Maybe he just wants me to hassle him, is that it? Thought it was it.
You can eat, right?
Yeah, I can eat. I just like to let you know I'm gonna have to leave.
In the middle of the meal?
It's probably before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice seeing you, though.
It was nice seeing you too.
You pass salt and pepper?
Oh yeah, sure.
Big,
Yeah, Mom has
plate of fried food. So I just got home. I'm going out to eat with family. It was nice, because basically Nino just came in over the weekend. And so I did at least get to see him a little bit. So that was nice. And I arrive here, and the videos have finished uploading. I'm now doing all the, basically end tags and that kind of thing. I already did most of the metadata, but a few things like end tags, or if I want to do any cards during the video, I have to wait for it to upload before I can put those in. So that's what I'm working on now, and I think after that, either doing some writing, like D&D writing, or editing. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's getting things accomplished. And I've gotten some editing done, importing footage now, worked on some laundry, prepped a couple basic things to be able to make sure I can run the game tomorrow. And at this point, I've been working on sort of class design for D&D, and designing a new class is interesting. I've designed a number of options for subclasses. Those are pretty easy to do. And I have actually, especially like with the modern game, I've designed full classes. However, any of the full classes that I've designed before have been strongly based on an individual other class. I did a Daredevil that was really, based on the framework of the Barbarian, but, and I changed a lot. And I've, I did like a telepath, like a psychic user, but I based that strongly on the Warlock. So I've had those kind of options, but they've always been, like I said, based on an existing class. This, not so much. It's a little bit barbarian-ish. It's a little bit druidish, but with no magic. It's got a little bit of there's maybe some monk aspects in there. Yeah, it's a few things. Basically, it's the idea of making a class that's like based on the lycanthropes, the different, werewolf, were-tiger, were-rat, were-boar, were-bear. With that being actually the choice that you make. And I decided to put that at first level because I figure, and I'm doing all of this while rewatching Mike Merle's Happy Fun Hour. That's kind of what I've been doing as I've been doing this book design, and it's enjoyable. But he'll give some thoughts on the process and such. And he's like, well, if the class decision is at first level, it's because it should feel different, in any form. And I feel like if you're turning into a wolf creature, you should feel different than if you turn into a rat creature. And so I do have basically a decision at the start, and it's, you get a hybrid form right from the get-go. And it's trying to make decisions of, well, when do I open up new things? Like, eventually I want to make it where you can just turn into the animal. Sort of almost like going into like what a druid might do. But I don't want to do that right away, or even at second level where a druid would get animal shape. That should be further down, and it's not going to quite work the same way as animal shape. Even the hybrid form, it's sort of a mix between a rage and an animal shape in and of itself. It's definitely somewhere in the middle there. One of the interesting things is I'm making some, basically a set decision. Part of what I wanted to design is there is no con-based class. No class that is like constitution focused. Now everyone has con as like a second or at worst third stat because it's your hit points. That's actually one of the things that I knew I could do with this, is I gave them a D8, when really, for the kind of character they are, they should have a little bit more hit points than that, but they have reason to focus on Constitution, so I can rely on them having a decent Constitution, because that's their focus for their other abilities. They're not having to prioritize something else over it. That should be good, and so their hit points should be fine, because otherwise I'd probably at least give them a D10. Probably a D10. So it's not quite... Yeah, not quite barbarian level, but yeah, I'd probably normally do a D10, but I sort of went down a dice since I know they'll have a good con. But it's little things like playing with that and just trying to make decisions. And formerly I was trying to start it like on the computer, and I was just having no luck. I'm definitely having I've gotten a lot further with it as is, and I'm not very far. I have the levels that are pretty much set, and then I have first level kind of done. But I got a lot further than I did working on the computer just by stepping over here and doing it by hand. Otherwise, I don't know. Definitely feeling a little drained again today, like I was in the halfway through the day yesterday. I'm not really sure if I'm doing something wrong or why am I starting to feel like this? I don't like it. I want to have energy continue through the day. I need that to get stuff done. But what do I do if it doesn't happen? I don't know. You know what? My phone says it's only 89 degrees out. Worst case, I wear myself out even more. But I know sometimes if you use energy, you'll get energy. I'm gonna do just a short walk, just the shorter and newer walk, because it's been a few weeks since I've gone for a walk, but I'm at least gonna step outside and do a little bit of a walk. Let's go do that. I'm not used to this anymore. I was thinking of going around twice, even though I'm on a shorter path. I don't think so. I'm not even halfway through this short path, and I'm more. I need to get back in the habit of this. Hopefully, we'll keep this weather. 90 degrees I can deal with. It's much more than that I can't. I've let myself get out of shape again. I'd say didn't take too long, but it's been a few weeks since I've done a walk at all, like just under a month. So that was a lot of work for me, but I survived it. And I don't know what the weather's supposed to like continuously be like if we're cooling down. I doubt it. But honestly, I don't think I can do that when it's much hotter. That was 89 degrees out. And I think really up into the 90s, it's just too hot for me to even try. In the long run, I don't know if I'm going to have more energy. I feel like I'm going to be worn out and have less. Which I guess that's not an issue since I otherwise didn't have enough energy to do what I needed to anyways, so oh well. I also feel very gross. So even if I did this, I'm just going to try and cool off, maybe take a shower now and actually clean up after that. I don't know if it was the exercise or the fact that I just decided, so I just couldn't clean. I was going to take a nice long relaxing shower, sort of soak in the heat, which I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I think I mentioned like Mike was adjusting the water heater at one point. I don't know if I've talked about it since then, but it worked. I can like relax in the shower now. It's very nice. Anyways, so I'm not sure what did it, but I definitely have more energy now. However, it's also now late enough that I pretty much have to make some dinner and get to bed. Figures! Oh well. So yeah, I didn't really accomplish as much as I may have liked this weekend. But really, even just the fact that yesterday I finished that Session 0 video and today I got it uploaded. Just getting past that hurdle of work that I've been doing for like 2 weeks is notable. It's noteworthy. It's enough that now I need to edit some more sessions, but also figure out what I'm gonna film for my next video in between them, because yeah, coming to that as well now. Which I just haven't thought about until then, because it's like, okay, well, it doesn't matter until I can get this done. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so gonna sort out dinner, I guess. And there are a number of things that would have sounded better that I could make for dinner. However, the all beef franks that I had like last weekend say once they've been opened they have 7 days, and I think it was last weekend. I didn't like check to be sure. Fingers crossed they're still good, but I know that if assuming they are, they're not going to be for long. So better cook them while I can. So to keep them from going bad, that's what I'm gonna have for dinner. And it was easy, so that's a benefit at least. At least it's not difficult. Just cooking. And I've got buns here, but those are bad. So those are going in the garbage. So I don't have buns with it. But I do have bread. Should still be good, so. Oh well. And I decided I was only going to have one of the hot dogs. And then I would just save the other two to make sure I had lunch covered for tomorrow. So I guess that's good, don't have to worry about lunch. But yeah, it's late. I'm going to eat this and then get to sleep. Gotta get to work in the morning. So, thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.